Hi everyone, welcome back to Rick's 1/3 scale models. My name is Rick and I'm going to be doing a product review on this Y-Model kit. This is going to be on the Wisent 2 Pionierpanzer or Bison engineering tank. So this model actually is a resin kit and it has the supplemental armor added on. You can see here on the sides you've got your RPG type rocket propelled grenade protection, and then this supplemental armor here, along with up in here also. So you can get this kit in a couple different versions. You can get it in a tank recovery version, which does not have the bucket in the back. It has the regular crane, and the arm here is a little different. Or you can get it in this engineering type vehicle, which is the version I decided to do. Now, the vehicle itself is made by FFG out of Germany, and this vehicle is being developed currently only for Hungary, Canada, Norway, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. That's the only countries that are currently buying into this product. But this model here doesn't really have any distinct as to who's using it. There's no decals or anything with it, but it does give you lots of good options to build. So what it says right off the top is when you build it, you're going to need to get a lower Leopard 2 chassis, and they're recommending a Hobby Boss. Now I did compare a Border, a Ming, Hobby Boss, and Tamiya, and all of them fit fine. So you can go with any of the lowers. The only thing you're going to see on the lower is going to be the back end of the vehicle, along with the bogie wheels, the tracks, and the lower chassis. But you do have a plate you have to put on the bottom, so a lot of that you're not going to see. So the biggest aspect here is going to be the tracks and the quality there, because a Hobby Boss you're going to have the solid plastic sheet, and if you want a little bit nicer quality, you're either going to have to go with a different brand or get an aftermarket product for your tracks. But let's take a look at the actual model itself. So the instructions come in a pretty simple sheet. You get the front, it's the standard pictures, the same as the box art, and then on the back you have some forward and side pictures along with back pictures of the vehicle itself completed. The instructions are pretty straightforward and simple. You've got the way the sheets open up, sheets like this. This will show you your lower chassis from your other model, and then adding on the resin components that you have to do. The instructions are in German, so you're either going to have to speak German or be able to translate it. And then you have multiple pages like this, which lay out in color your different parts, different components, where they go, etc., and the definitions. And then they have these color schematics to show where they're going to be placed. See multiple pages, a little bit more detail kind of on the spruce sheet where you're going to see this, and then where you're going to place these different parts. Here's your rocket propelled grenade armor along with your armor plating that goes on the sides, how that goes on. Kind of a schematic here to kind of get an idea of how it connects. They've got these different connection bars. A little bit of time you're going to have to spend here making sure you're using the right components. And then these storage boxes that sit on the top deck. The front bucket plow, how that goes through. Now they're saying all these parts are movable, and in looking at the parts, if you are careful and work out in the right way, you can make all these parts function. Then here's the actual boom. Once again, if you're careful in your assembly, you can make all these components actually function and articulate. And that's that. Now here we're looking at the upper hull. This part will be attached to your plastic bottle All this is resin. It's fitted and flat. It looks pretty good. The detail on this is really sharp. The non-skid plating here is very subtle. The details are good, along with the refueling and access points have really good detail. They did not make the handles here, but most of this is covered by a plate, so it's really not that relevant. But as you can see, there's some really fine detail in all these different components and parts. The bolts, the access hatches, there's some sprue to remove here. You can see all the riveting points around the edges, along the sides, really clean. A little bit of flashing, like I said, to pull off, but nothing major. But the detail quality of this is really good so far. This is going to be your two side skirts. Once again, real delicate. Your little step rails here are really small, really good scale. This does have a little bit of warping here, nothing that can't easily be addressed. A lot of this is going to be covered up by a lot of the extra armor plating. You won't see a lot of that anyway, but it is something to be aware of, something in the casting process and curing time. Nothing real major though, nothing that can't be fixed. On this piece you're going to see the side supplemental armor. This is a solid casting. It's pretty heavy, but you have detail on the inside and the outside. Really nice. You can see the texturing when you look at pictures of the actual vehicle. You see the same texturing, so they did a really good job there. Really nice looking. This will be one of the sheets of armor. Now, there's quite a bit of cleanup here, but the quality of the printing is amazing. You've got really good detail, real thin parts, very accurate looking. The thickness of them is correct. And then in looking at the cleanup process, if you set this on a piece of sandpaper and just lightly do this, you'll be able to clean this up really easy. So they did a really good job of this process. But very, very delicate parts, real high quality. Once this is completely assembled, it's really going to turn out really sharp so far looking at all these parts. So these are going to be 3 more components. This is going to be your plate that sits above the deck. This is part of the crane mechanism. There is quite a bit of extra parts here that need to be cleaned off. The biggest challenge here with the resin is doing this gently without breaking it. But you can see some of the casting points here. Anybody who's done any of the resin printing will see this. This looks like it's a 3D resin, possibly initially printed. And looking at it, that would be my guess. And then this is part of your decking for your upgraded armor underneath the main hull here. Here's going to be part of your plow and your bucket. There is one broken piece there. The part's in the bag, so it's easily completable. Not a challenge at all, but real good quality on the bucket. This is part of your plow, and then this is the actual plow itself. Really, really good quality again. Very impressed with the quality they've done here on the build. A little bit of cleanup here. With the resin, it's a little more challenging. The parts are a little more brittle, but it definitely provides a very nice high quality product. More parts in the bag, parts of the assembly, the boom, supply box. Not sure what this is, some kind of electronics, and then armor on the side. More parts of the boom and supports, along with this part too. Once again, very, very detailed. Next group of parts, more parts of the aperture arm, hydraulic functions. This is going to be, looks like parts of the plow. Definitely done with a 3D resin printer by looking at how this is formulated. Very high quality though. And then you've got part of your plow here, and this is part of the supplemental armor underneath the hull. Real simple, straightforward, but really good quality I'll probably say it 10 more times at least, but a very well made model. You're going to see more supply boxes. Looks like some kind of a air conditioning or some other ventilation device. This is going to be part of your boom, the main base. These are part of your rods. It looks like there's a hole here to be drilled out in the center. This one fell off. It's in the bag. Some arms and tool parts. Your white phosphorus smoke grenades, along with another part. Not sure what that's going to belong to at this point. And then more parts of the crane mechanism. Okay, so looking at this, you've got one of your front headlights. Quite a bit of cleanup here, but should work out nicely. The parts you have to remove are paper thin, so it should come out real nice. Kind of get an idea of the work they went into in designing the quality here of this part. It'll take a little bit of time to clean it up, but the end result will be amazing. Parts of your crane mechanism. This will be one of the hatches, probably the commander's hatch. You've got a pulley mechanism, some hatches here, and then looking at the supply box, the handles here, with just a little bit of work and delicateness, you can kind of clean out the inside here and make them look more realistic. Or you can leave them like this. There's very thin sheet inside, but easily clean upable. Okay, so last little bit of parts. A few little things here that have popped off the spruce sheets, but you get an idea of all the little components. Some of these you've seen already. The other side of the headlight, some parts of the support system, apertures, hinges, pulleys. There are the parts. Once again, this definitely is a 3D resin printer part built based on looking at these different casting points. Hydraulic lines here. Some of the hydraulic, other component of the hydraulic pump. The rear view mirrors over here, and then some more plating. So overall, looking at this kit, it's resin. It's different than regular plastic. The instructions are going to be a little challenging, but the quality is there. It is definitely a very, very sharp. A lot of time was spent creating this model, so once completed it should be pretty amazing. It will be something I will be building here in the near future, kind of show the progress of it. I haven't done a lot with resin, so this will be a new experience. So we get to kind of experience it together in the next few videos that I go through that. But Y-Modelle did an amazing job. Really neat kit. Looking forward to building it. Should turn out real sharp and nice. Not really sure which army I'm going to make it for, but I'll get to that when I come time to paint it. Anyway, that's my review. Definitely a top-notch kit they did here. Resin, different type of product other than plastic model, but a little on the pricey side, but definitely looking at the quality, it's worth it. So anyway, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. More videos coming soon. Everybody take care, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.